Back at the Empire, the Rapunzel returned, and then unfortunately, Human Godzilla was less pleased. You mean to tell me that you failed? I'm sorry, my queen, but nothing. I told you, I gave you an order and you're supposed to carry out that order until it's done. I hated them when most of my subjects don't follow my orders correctly. No matter. I'm gonna go have a meeting with Esdeath. Female Godzilla left to go have a personal meeting with Esdeath. The talk lasted for 2 hours. 2 long hours. I can see that you're very frustrated with your subjects, Female Godzilla. I actually understand that. Sometimes I feel like that my soldiers don't do what they're told sometimes. But I can assure you, we will kill our enemies. Just don't say eventually. I really hate it when someone says eventually. Don't worry, I won't say eventually. Not to mention that most of my servants returned and they came back successfully. Unfortunately, they left. I don't know where they went. But apparently they're hiding somewhere. Instantly made Muda Prime arrive. And to, well, sort of interrupt the conversation. My queen, I may have a suggestion. What is it, Muda Prime? Let me lead the next attack. Why you want to lead the next attack, exactly? Because if my suspicions are correct, that Dagon is alive. And I must find him. If I find him, I might find your son. Godzilla thought about it. She then smiled. Very well then, Muda Prime. You shall lead the next attack. Thank you. Who will you take with you? I would take not just my people, but Cyborgzilla, Exif Ghidorah, Burning Godzilla 2019, Mecha Fire Ghidorah, Super Destroyer 2021, and of course, Dragon Rex. I'll take them all with me. Very well then, you may go. But, my queen, I'll suggest that if you allow me to bring a few military men. What are you talking about? Well, isn't it obvious? Zero Followers despise mankind. He can't forgive them about what they've done. Plus, he doesn't know that you were the one who were responsible in killing his father. But, if my suspicions are correct, if coming in contact with military men, Zero Followers might get triggered and his Godzilla instincts will take over. will cause them to basically go on a rampage and destroy these cities. And thus, that gets rid of. And plus, if Night Ray tries to stop him, he will do the work for us. Godzilla smiled. She looked at Esdeath, and Esdeath had a smile on her face too. Don't need to ask my permission. About the next day, Sir Final Wars and Indians were all peaceful. Everything was peaceful, to be honest. So peaceful, in fact, that it actually kind of freaked Sir Final Wars out. And not to mention, there was another thing. The fact that it was too quiet and too peaceful concerned Super Final Wars. But his uncle assured him that everything will be alright, and the fact that no evil kaijus actually discovered their base, his territory. Eventually, Gears came running in. Dagon. On Super Final Wars, we got a problem. What is it? It's Muda Prime. He's leading his people in Super Final Wars' friends' arch enemies. They're coming here. Crap. And I thought you said no one knew about your base, Uncle. Okay, maybe one person knows my base, okay? That still doesn't change the fact that you basically didn't tell us that Muda Prime knows your base. Oh, come on, how was I supposed to know he was on his way over here? So far, so quiet. Dagon was actually right. How is he supposed to know that Muda Prime is coming straight towards his base? Okay, I'll get the guys. But a couple of hours later, after getting the guys, they all got ready. Need to fight. But before they can start the battle, Muda Prime interrupted. I got a little present for your nephew, Dagon. What type of present? Muda Prime moved out of the way. Sir Fires looked and saw there were tanks, choppers, jets. Instantly, he remembered the burning hatred towards mankind. He growled so loud that it actually shook the ground. Everyone looked at him terrified. And they all swallowed. Super Final Wars? Are you okay? You don't sound good. Everyone watched as Sir Flowers straight up transformed into his Godzilla, Ultima form. He took a deep breath and let out a mighty roar. Instantly, his eyes were now bloodshot red. And he attacked anyone or anything that was in his way or in his path. Instantly, Muda Prime got his soldiers and got them out of there. My theory was correct! I was right! I knew he was gonna get triggered! I'll see you in military. He tanks, jets, and choppers. I knew it. Before everyone can find Sir Farnworth, he ended up taking one of the Hollow Earth entrances and going straight back up to the surface. He actually made his way towards a nearby city. And he actually ended up invading the city. He couldn't hold back his anger, his burning hatred, his desire to get revenge on mankind for what they'd done to his father. Gojira, he died because of mankind. Godzilla was only trying to warn them not to use nuclear weapons like that again. But instead they didn't listen. They didn't listen. And now, his father is gone. He will not forgive mankind. The military shot all their weapons at Ruffinors. He opened his mouth and is back in their glowing blue. And instantly, 6 rings formed right in front of him while he was charging up his atomic breath. Once when his atomic breath was fully charged, he unleashed his atomic fury, destroying countless lives. Basically making the city into a sea of fire within seconds. As a matter of fact, the city was already within a sea of fire with his blue atomic fury. Instantly, he was consuming a lot of radiation, while destroying cities, nuclear power plants. His atomic breath was so powerful, he actually ended up cutting through buildings in half, like they were nothing. Like what happens when you cut butter with a hot knife. The military unleashed all their weapons upon Ruffinors, but nothing could hurt him. His armor was much stronger than any other Godzilla's body armor. Not even stealth bombers could hurt him. He unleashed his atomic fury on mankind. And he wasn't doing this all alone. He actually had backup with a swarm of small rodents. There were like thousands of these. There were like thousands of little rodents, and they were flying right behind him. Now, so far I was going to create the red dust very similar to what the actual Godzilla Ultimate could do. But the rodents were creating the red dust for him. There was no way the military could stop Super Final Wars. He was making his way, and the small rodents were just clearing a path for him, killing all the small, weak humans. Rather, dropping them from the sky or eating them. It didn't really care. Back at the Empire, Esdeath and the others were watching the news as Ruffinors destroyed everything in his path. Nothing was stopping him. Nothing. They ended up seeing that their weapons couldn't even damage him. He was a true monster. And a powerful one, as a matter of fact. And he's no ordinary monster. He is the prince of monsters. And as the prince of monsters, any monster who got in his way was going to basically look like what happened when you got ran over by a train.